So my competition orange '04 Cobra looked absolutely beautiful. Low mileage, 30,000 miles, and I was enjoying it. And one night I was waxing the car in the garage. And as I was waxing, I saw something a little interesting. So come on here with me into the garage for a second, and I'm going to show you something special about this car. Something that I had never noticed until later. Now this car looks absolutely beautiful in the sunlight. In the daylight you don't see anything at all. In the night evening light it's beautiful as well. You wouldn't see anything, but with the fluorescent lights in the garage, which are very harsh, you can see like little light scratches and swirls and things like that, and that's normal. But I saw something that I was very shocked about. So I got a black light, and with the help of a black light, you could uncover some things. Now this is like doing forensic work, isn't it? People have called me a Mustang forensic scientist before, actually. But with the black light on, we're going to uncover a few secrets about this car. So if we start right here on the driver's side fender, you can see it used to have a Goodyear sticker right there. Continue down, there's a B&M. Short shifter, sport shifter is what it says. Looks like some other decals, maybe a Ford logo there. Nothing else over there, but on the back of the bumper there was a little bit more here. And again, you cannot see this in the daylight. You can see where things were. There we go. Looks like it even says manly, manly rods, which is what the Cobras come with. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And this all came from one night when I was waxing the car and I could see it through the wax, which was kind of funny. So it had some stickers on it. And, like I was saying before, I was very critical when I saw other Cobras that had stickers on them, and I said that's going to leave a mark. So this is the picture I took back then when I waxed the car, and I could see it coming through the wax. And this might be able to be wet sanded out. I've never done that before. I've done paint correction, and that might take it out as well. I've taken it to the body shop, and I talked to them about repainting the hood, because at first I saw it on the hood here. But they told me that if they go too far, then it'll ruin the paint and they might have to repaint the car. And so I had to make the choice at that moment of, do I want this to be an original paint car as far as I can and just leave the beautiful original orange on it, or try to repaint certain spots. And I decided I'm just going to leave it the way it is, because you cannot see that in the daylight. It's a beautiful car, the paint's perfect besides that, and stickers will do that. And so I had contacted the guy I bought it from, and I asked him, are you sure this didn't have any race history or anything like that? He said, no, absolutely not. I know the guy I bought it from. He never raced it. I never raced it. He said, I'm surprised it has that. He probably had stickers on it at one point, just trying to make it look like a Cobra R, which is what we kind of assumed he was doing with this car anyway, with the rear spoiler and the wheels and stuff. So it all kind of makes sense. It's just something that somebody chose to do with their car. And like I mentioned earlier, you have no control over what somebody does with their car when you don't own it. I was a senior in high school with no job when this car was manufactured and sold brand new. And this was someone else's car. It was not my car at that time. So you can't be upset about that. He had the right to do whatever he wanted to this car. It was his. He bought it. And so the only thing you can do is try to repair what's been done. You can't change the past, but you can try to alter the future of the car. And so in this case, I'm glad it didn't have a hole cut in the hood or a hole cut in the front bumper or anything like the other cars we've seen. I'm glad it didn't have the stripes painted on like the orange Cobras we looked at earlier in the series. I mean, that's something that when I see stripes painted on a Cobra, I'm like, okay, that's kind of a pass. It's done a lot of damage to the paintwork. So in the case of my car, it's very minor. Earlier in the series, I showed this competition orange Cobra that had stickers on it, and I mentioned that that's going to leave a mark even if they take it off, and even if the car was garaged, it's still going to leave a mark behind. And that's the reason I said that, because I know that from experience. This Cobra was very similar to mine. It had stickers on it. It had Cobra R wheels. It's just kind of something that people did back then. So, You know, it's a very interesting thing, but some people are like, I won't even put a sticker on the glass. I won't ever, you know, touch the paint. I tell people, as far as I'm concerned with my cars, treat the car like it has wet paint, like it's just been painted. You don't touch it, you don't put a box on it, you don't lean on it, you don't do anything with the paint except for wash it and clean it up. And Jeff Smith's Competition Orange Cobra is beautiful, and I've always liked how he kept the stickers just on the glass. But recently he did put the McLeod sticker on the quarter panel, and I knew that that was going to leave a mark eventually over time. And so that's just something that I had considered since I've been like thinking about this over the last 10 years. And so I actually looked up some of the companies and I called around and I asked them if they had ever sponsored a Cobra like this. And one of the companies I called, they said, no, we've never sponsored that car before, but 2004 Competition Orange Mustang Cobra, that sounds like a really cool car. So that was pretty fun to hear that. And when I talked to the guy I bought it from about it, he actually offered to give me a little bit of money back on the car, enough to repaint the hood, because at the time I only saw the stuff on the hood. And that was very nice of him to do that. And he said, hey, if you want to sell the car back, I'll take it back. And so at that point I had to realize, look, what we're dealing with here isn't such a big issue. You know, to some people it is. To me, it was kind of a big issue. But he was very nice about it, and he would have gladly taken the car back, and I'm sure he could have sold it quickly to somebody else. He didn't even have the car listed for sale when I bought it from him. Now again, I want to emphasize that this is the history of this car. You can't change that. And, you know, if it still had stickers on them, I'd definitely remove them now. But the fact is, that was something that happened to this car back in that time. And that's kind of cool, because that's the history of the car and it's mine now. Now, I also want to emphasize what I had said earlier in the series. If you find a Competition Orange low mileage Terminator Cobra and you can buy it, you don't get picky. Now, I saw this story that I liked a lot, and it kind of goes in with all this. This is a 69 Boss 302, and it only had 199 miles on it. And the guy bought it, and he raced it, and he had, you know, paint work done on it and stuff, but the car is still super valuable because of what it is. Another similar story I like a lot is this 69 Boss 429 that only had 20,000 miles on it. This one was restored to its race history look. And this car was purchased brand new and went straight to the drag strip and competed in NHRA events. And it had stickers all over it and everything. And when they found this car as one of the lowest mile Boss 429s around, it was actually repainted grabber blue, and it was a basket case, and it was a 20,000 mile car. I mean, it really needed some work, and so definitely worth restoring and everything, but it was kind of a cool story. I believe I even watched the YouTube video about this Boss 429 with a walk around, and this car was heavily raced, low mileage, all original. And I think they said that it was never titled before. And at the time they were asking $500,000 for the car. So pretty cool story. I mean, you can see that people do whatever they want with their cars. They can put stickers on them, they can race them, they can do anything they want with their car. And so this can also bring up some discussion on whether a 2000 Cobra R should have stickers put all over it because it's a race car, or if you should never put a sticker on a car. And again, I think the reason my Cobra had some stickers on it was because the owner wanted it to look like this. And this is a good example of what some people do. Some people would say, don't ever do that to a Cobra R. They're expensive and rare. Some people won't race them. Some people only want to collect them. And I don't know which camp I would be in that regard. I think I would keep it all original. I wouldn't put any stickers on it. And I'd maybe occasionally take it on the racetrack just for fun and to do some laps in it, but nothing serious, because you should probably use it a little bit for what it's for and have some fun, but don't risk hurting the car unless you're very experienced. But that's why I don't own a Cobra R. I like the Terminator better. Terminator is more of what I like to do. I actually looked at Cobra R's when they were for sale and when they were affordable. I remember seeing one as low as $35,000 for sale, and I thought that's a pretty good deal. And I probably could have made it work. It was still a lot of money, But I mean, if I wanted to, I could have sold the Mach 1 and not bought a Terminator and had a Cobra R, but it's just not what I'm into. I'm not into track cars. I have had people ask me, so when are you getting a Cobra R? Or when are you getting a Celine? Or when are you getting a Roush? The reason I don't have those cars is because those aren't the ones that I love the most. And so the Terminator is the best of all the New Age Mustangs. No questions asked. That's just the truth of it. And, this is the car I want, and that's my opinion. You might have a different opinion, but to me, it doesn't get better than a Competition Orange 04 Cobra. So there's a lot more to come. There's more to this story, so I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.